You guys, I bought more books.
Welcome back to my lovely channel, Jazzy's Land. I am so excited to have you guys here. I'm Jaslyn and I like to read books. But today is not about that. Today, we're buying books. Come along with me as I make my way down to the Strand to purchase some used books. I haven't been book shopping in a minute, but I just had a feeling, I had a desire to buy some books. And I adore going to the Strand because it's so big and you can usually get good prices. When I'm book shopping, I tend to try and find authors that are new to me, or I like to find authors that maybe I recognize, but I haven't read anything by them yet. So like maybe if I heard them spoken about a lot on Bookstagram or BookTube, then I'm like, oh, let me try this author out. I also like to get books that have gotten like a lot of like positive reviews from like people that I trust, and that's kind of just how I pick them out. If I see any classics that are a reasonably good price, I like to, grab those as well. Sometimes I like to branch off and just try out a new genre that I've never tried before. It wasn't that kind of book shopping day.
Book haul time. I got 5 books. I ended up leaving with 5 books. The first one being That Time I Got Drunk and Needed a Love Potion at a Werewolf by Kimberly Lemming. If you guys have been watching my channel, which you should be, then you guys know that I am a huge Kimberly Lemming fan. This is the second book in the Mishap series. I think that's what they're called. So this is the sequel to That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. And I'm super excited to read it. It's super spicy, and I love that about Kimberly Lemming books, and they're always fun. Her fantasy books are always down to earth, I would feel like. They're very real. They're not super like high fantasy or anything like that, but they're always a good time, and I'm always giggling and screaming and lots of spice. Lots of spice. My boyfriend opened it up. So I had my stack of books at the Strand, and my boyfriend opens up this one. Out of all the books he could have picked up, he picked up this one, opened it up to a random page, and then it was just like wilding. So I was just like, mind your business. He's like, this is what you read? And I was like, yes, sometimes. Okay, let me have my fun. This book follows Bree, and she is a cheesemaker. Yeah, she's in the cheese business, and her name's Bree. She throws a drink at someone and it accidentally misses that person and hits a werewolf. The drink ended up being a love potion, and so now the werewolf is like in love with her, and like thinks that he's like her fated mate, and she's like, what the heck? And so that's what this is basically about. I'm excited to read it. Like I said, Kimberly's always a great time. Next, I got Jade City by Fonda Lee. Now, this has been a book that I've heard so much about. I feel like it's talked about a lot, and it's given a lot of praise, especially from people who like fantasy and sci-fi. This is a big one, and it's kind of blasphemous that I haven't read it yet, but I'm just a girl. And it's so thick too. So I'm like, I'm literally afraid of big books, and I need to tighten up. Okay. For centuries, honorable Greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over, and a new generation vies for control of Kikon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. So this seems like it's a very high fantasy, very intense. There's 4 siblings. There's a war going on. Lots of things happening in this book. So again, this is something that I'm going to have to deep dive in. You know what? I have an idea and I might share that with you guys, or this might be part of a series that I'm working on. So, but yes, the Jade City, I'm going to get into it. Fonda Lee has great reviews. So this is good. The next book that I have is An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. Now, I've heard of River Solomon before. They are the author that wrote The Deep, which I think has been spoken about as like a creepy, like mermaid kind of story. I don't really know too much about it. This book actually came out in 2017. It came out before The Deep. I just saw this and I saw the cover and it seems kind of interesting. So it follows this girl, and she's a dark-skinned girl, and she is living on basically a boat. So it's like the end of the world, and like this boat is going on is going to like the promised land, but it's like a never ending like trip. Like there is no promised land, I guess. I don't really know. But the ferry is kind of set up like the antebellum South. So because she's, dark skinned, she's basically considered lower class. She's craves power is what it's giving, that she craves power, and she is thinking about basically starting a civil war. So drama, it was in the fantasy section, so I'm thinking that there's going to be some type of fantastical element to this, and I'm praying for that, because it says like she wishes that she truly were a monster. She wishes she was a monster. So I'm like, what if she actually becomes a monster, and then that's how she kind of starts like this civil war? I genuinely have not heard anything about it. I just recognized the author's name and I was like, let me try something by them. So picked it up. I don't know why I've seen like The Deep before. Like sometimes when I'm scrolling through Libby, like looking for books, I'm like, ooh, should I read that? But that just seems so spooky to me. And I don't even know the full synopsis, but I just feel like it's so spooky. So if you've read it or if you know anything about it, let me know. But so, okay, moving on, we have The Island of Dr. Monroe by H.G. Wells. So I'm pretty sure this is like a classic staple in the fantasy genre. The shipwrecked Edward Prendick finds himself alone on an island with a mad scientist, Dr. Monroe. When he hears strange cries echoing through the forest, he discovers that the island is inhabited by bizarre human hybrid creatures. Prendick must escape the island before he becomes the scientist's next victim. So this is very much fitting with the creepy, spooky fall vibes, and I'm excited. It's short, so it's like, I love that. Would love to just kind of pick this up just for like a little spooky read. I think this will be really good. I don't know anything about H.G. Wells, y'all, so if you do, let me know. But this is my first book that I've read by them ever. Hopefully it's good. But yeah, I just had to pick it up and it was pretty cheap. It was like $8. Strand value. So I'm happy about that. And lastly, we have Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. And I just realized that I actually started another book by them, War Girls, but I DNF'd it. So I got that book off of Libby, but I DNF'd it just because I wasn't really like connecting with it at the time. And I couldn't figure out, like, I don't know, my brain was not meshing with the writings. So I'm I'm hoping. I picked this one up on a whim because I thought the cover was kind of cool. It's called Riot Baby, and it's pretty short as well. This follows a girl and she has some type of power. It's not really clear. At first I was like, oh, she can see into the future. But then it also says that she has the power to like wreck buildings and like cause chaos. So she has some type of power basically, and her brother is the one who kind of cares for her and is like, "Oh, you know, Ella, don't be crazy." He's just like trying to protect his sister because he thinks like this power will basically ruin her. Her brother gets arrested and then she has to make a decision like, okay, so what do I do right now? Like, do I burn this whole city down, get my brother back? I don't know. But it's called Riot Baby. So Riot Baby. I didn't really look anything up about this book before I got home. So that's how I realized that I've actually read from this author before. I thought this was going to be a new to me author, but it's not. I got all in the fantasy sci-fi genre-esque area there because I kind of wanted to expand my fantasy collection. Even though I have a bunch, I want more. And I still think there's so many books that I need to read. So I was like, let me just go out there. I was having a hankering to just spend some money. These are all the books I got. I'm very happy. I don't think I went too crazy, even though 5 books, like, you know, nowadays books are expensive, but these are all used books. So they're all marked down. Let me get my spread on. Let me get my spread on. Yeah. But anyways, I love books. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books. If you've heard of them, what have you heard about them? Let me know if they're worth the read. All that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and most importantly, stay beautiful.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.